Here are 5 mindset and mental game strategies poker players have always used, continue to use, and if you use them, they will make sure that you never win as much as you should, no matter how much you know, no matter how much you study. Number 1 is having very stringent and specific rules around how you manage your bankroll and how you take shots. And if I lose this much, I'm going to move down to this level. If I win this much, then I can start playing at this level. 1, it does not work, because the version of you that is making these rules is a completely different person than the version of you who is going to have to execute them. It is one thing to say, I'm going to quit when I'm down $5,000. It is a completely other thing to be actually down $5,000, still have money in your account or still have money in your pocket and be able to walk away. So making the rule does not guarantee that you're going to follow the rules. So at that point, there's no point in making it whatsoever. Second, you miss huge opportunities. If you say, oh, I need to have $50,000 in my bankroll before I take a shot at this game or I play this tournament, well, you're missing opportunities when everything is in your favor, because there might be a day where the greatest lineup of all time shows up, or you happen to be playing the absolute best poker you've ever played in your life. You've never felt more confident. Your reads have never been better, but you say to yourself, oh, I'm $1,000 short, I can't do it. And you are blowing a massive opportunity in that moment to take the shot when everything is in your favor. And instead, you're going to wait for a time when it may never come, or you're going to be feeling a lot less confident playing not so great poker before you take that shot. And that's not going to work out very well. Number 3, and the most important reason why these rules around money and bankroll management are not going to serve you, is because you never learn how to actually trust yourself to make decisions based on how you're feeling. And if you never do that, then how do you think you're going to play poker in big situations? Do you think you're going to trust yourself then? You're never going to be able to trust yourself in these situations when you have a big decision to make in a poker hand, because you don't know how to trust yourself to manage your money and manage your life in general. Aww. At some point, you got to grow up and leave the nest and learn how to be out in the world, having the experiences you're having the emotions you're having, and know that you can make decisions that you're happy with. That's what it's all about. So if you can't do it in general with your bankroll and your money and the decisions you're making, how are you ever going to do it to maximize your win rate? Next up, one of my least favorite things I hear people talking about what they're doing is the gratitude journal. Because a lot of the top pros, when they interview them, they'll say stuff like, it's important to remain grateful. We get to play a game for a living and we get to make a living doing what we love. They're not doing the hand stuff. I'm adding that. But they're just, yeah, we have to be grateful for this opportunity because other people struggle and we get to play poker. And so what happens is that people hear this and they say, oh, wow, I'm not grateful. And then there's this cool thing people talk about. So, oh, if I just write down 5 to 10 things a day that I'm grateful for, that will fix everything. And now the next time I take a bad beat, I'm going to be able to remain completely stoic and okay because I wrote down that I had chicken for dinner last night or something like that. But this is not how it works. See, gratitude is not something you force. Gratitude is not something you're like, oh, I'm gonna be grateful, damn it. All right, this is not how it works. Gratitude is the byproduct of you being in acceptance of how you feel, no matter how you feel. Once you can make it okay that you feel angry, that you feel tense, that you feel scared, that you feel sad, that you're upset, that you're anxious, that you're frustrated, all of that stuff. On the other side of that is you being able to genuinely be grateful that, hey, I get to play poker for a living. Hey, I get to have a lot of fun playing a game that I love all day. Hey, I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. Gratitude is on the other side of you accepting all the difficult and uncomfortable stuff. You try to force it, and you use that as a way to avoid feeling the discomfort you're feeling when you're in situations you're not too grateful for. It defeats the purpose. So put the pen down, back away slowly, feel those feelings first. You're not going to need the journal because you will genuinely be able to appreciate where you're at. By the way, if you want to have as much fun at the poker table as I am making this video, be sure to check out my latest book, The Joy of Poker, highest rated book with over 100 reviews on Amazon. Multiple World Series of Poker bracelets won this year from people who read this book alone, highly recommend you check out The Joy of Poker. I believe it's going to move more money from the people who have not read it to the people who have over the next 10 to 20 years than any other publication in poker. Number 3, the fanatical devotion some people have gotten to being very, very needy around doing whatever practices that the mindset coaches give them. Hey, I'm going to do this meditation tape, and I always do this one before I play. And it gets to this obsessive level to where I have lots of people ask me like, hey, should I, set a timer to go off every 10 minutes? And then I can remember to check in with my emotions and make sure that I'm being present. And it's like, no, don't set a timer, because if you set a timer, what you're doing again is you're saying, I don't trust myself to go out and live my life out in the world and live my life out at the poker table and be able to recognize the moments when, hey, I'm a little bit agitated, I'm a little bit flustered, I need a crutch. I want all of you to have no crutch, no need for anybody or anything to have to remind you of like, hey, like, are you present? Except from watching these videos. You should definitely keep watching these videos and also subscribe to my email list over at pokerwithpresence.com. You definitely should do those things to remind you about that. But aside from that, what I strongly suggest is that you give yourself no safety net. And instead, you get out there and you learn how to catch yourself without needing these reminders that, hey, I'm agitated, I'm anxious, I'm upset. So that ultimately you become somebody who can take care of yourself. So the timer teaches you that I don't know how to do this and I'm never going to be able to do this without constant reminders. Well, that's no life. That's not a good life to live. What you need to be able to do. What is this? This timer just went off. Can you believe this? This is not mine. This is my wife's timer that. Oh my God. That is insane. Okay. I'm flustered now. All right. That's definitely going in the video. You set timers. You build out systems to remind you of like, hey, am I present? You're robbing yourself of the opportunity to learn about your own patterns, to recognize the signs inside you, to be a person who's self-sufficient. And that is the greatest gift you can ever give to yourself if being present is your highest priority, is that I'm a self-sufficient person who can handle anything out in the world. Because the worst stuff, the biggest stuff, a timer is not going to go off right when it happens. So there's no need for it. Because in that moment, either you've trained yourself to be able to know what to do and recognize it, or you haven't. And if you haven't, you're screwed anyways. So get rid of the timer. Which takes us to number 4, the accountability buddy. I know lots of you love to meet up with people and you say, hey, all right, I'm going to play 100 hours this month, and I'm going to play 150 hours this month. I'm going to play 50,000 hands this month. And if I don't, well, then you get to, I don't know, be disappointed, even though you probably actually don't care at all. I'm going to pretend that you're really disappointed and use that as motivation to do my stuff because I don't want to let you down, even though you don't actually care at all. See, the accountability buddy system is just another way that people say, hey, I'm not a grown-up, and hey, I don't trust myself to be able to get my stuff done, and I need some authority figure to threaten me with shame in order to get my stuff done. Well, even if it works technically and you actually do play your volume and you do all this, that's no way to live. Like, is this really what you want to do and set up for yourself? Is this life where no matter every single time you set goals for yourself, you gotta go find somebody who scares you a little bit and set it up so that if you don't do stuff, you're gonna feel ashamed to tell them? Is that really how you want to live? Because each time that you set up this accountability buddy system, that's what you're doing. You're just getting somebody to be this scary authority figure for you, and that's not good, because then even if you do it, deep down you know that you weren't genuinely the one motivating yourself, and that's why your wins and accomplishments can start to feel a little bit hollow, because you know you weren't doing it from this genuine place of enthusiasm. You did not source your own fuel. You outsourced it and got somebody else to be like, oh, hey, did you play today? You play today? And it's ridiculous. So get rid of that. Get real friends instead. Get real friends who genuinely you care about and care about you instead, not acquaintances who you're going to hold each other accountable. Last one. This one. This one. All right. You ever hear this one? You got to treat your poker career like a business. You got to treat your poker career like you're a professional athlete. You know what I think of when I hear these things? I think of how 80% of businesses go out of business within 5 years. I think of how professional athletes, most of them, are completely miserable all the time because they get bogged down in doing all of their routines and needing everything to be perfect and putting so much pressure on themselves to do like every little thing perfect all day. And then if I miss something, then I messed up, and that means there's something wrong with me. See, these people are miserable. So do you really want to treat your poker career and approach it from this perspective that everybody who is doing that is completely miserable, even if they are winning, and they always have tons and tons of regrets later? And most of them fail, by the way, and most of them, when they're looking back, always say, I didn't live up to my potential. Would you really like to run your poker career that way? I hope you don't. What I think, because I've worked with lots of people who are serious athletes. I've worked with people who are CEOs of large businesses. And what they've found is that they are much happier. They are much more productive. The golf score goes down when you prioritize being present with your feelings above all else. The employees are happier when you prioritize being present with your feelings above all else. The profits go way up. The performance goes way up. It's not just specific to poker players. So forget about treating it like a business and treating it like you're a professional athlete, because those people, you don't want to feel how they feel. They want to feel the way that the people that I work with feel. Completely fulfilled, content, happy, able to keep being effective and moving forward no matter what happens, not being a perfectionist and needing everything to go exactly how they planned, or else it all falls apart. So if you want to learn how to do that stuff, you got to learn how to prioritize being present with each moment that comes, each emotion that comes. Learn how to do things in your way. All right. If you like all this stuff I'm talking about, go check my website out, my daily email newsletter, pokerwithpresence.com. All you got to do is read. If you can't read, I guess you're just screwed anyways. But if you can read, pokerwithpresence.com. I've lost track now of how many messages I've gotten over the years that said, hey, the email you wrote today completely changed everything for me. And these people went on to go play much better for the rest of their careers, just from one thing that they saw me write. I do not archive these emails. I do not know which one that I write is going to be the one that would help you. I hope you do not miss it. If you do not want to miss it, make sure you are on it now. pokerwithpresence.com. I will see you there. All right, I'm going to talk about things that I think poker players should not do. This can't be hard. Poker players do a lot of stupid shit. They always come up with new shit to try. Every poker hand history breakdown is like, yeah, I did this. And then the other guy is like, yeah, but you should never do that. And then the first person's like, yeah, but you weren't there. But then there's like, why are we even having this conversation anyways? What's the point? This is so stupid. I don't know. I think you should break up with her, man. This doesn't sound good. This sounds really bad, man. I don't know. I think you should end it. This is a red flag. This is a giant red flag. Look, if you know what poker players are like. If you date somebody who falls in love with poker, that's a huge red flag. You got to get out of there immediately.